Las nuevas temporadas de los héroes Dick Wolf nos enseñan que las batallas más duras se libran en las salas de emergencia.
Nick, tell me a bit about how this was recording during the pandemic. Was it difficult to adapt and make the recordings with the established health safety standards?
The first day was stressful and hectic because it feels like we're starting a brand new show and creating a new show. Thankfully, these characters are within us, so we didn't have to create new characters. We just needed to adapt them to the new environment. But in a certain way, that's artistically satisfying to be able to work in a new environment. But separating the pretend world from the reality of actually making it on set, the on-set working environment, it was a little bit to adjust to. And but I felt extremely safe coming back to work. And I now feel only safer having learned what we've learned and improved on what our protocols are. You can only plan so much before you come and set something like this up. But I'm really grateful to be working at all. And I think we have a unique opportunity to be a medical drama for this right now. But I talked to some doctors and wanted to know what would be useful to implement into the character. But ultimately, the show is set up. The storyline will start in the midst of the pandemic, and so we will be dealing with COVID storylines, of course. But then we'll be balancing it with, the types of stories that fans have come to expect from Chicago Med.
So Nick, with this new way of recording, change in something the discourse of this history, the original history for new season, and it's modified in some themes to touch topics like the correct use of the mask, the washing of the hands, and the coronavirus.
Yes, so there, like I said, the ED will not have, and we will have some of the protocol that we do. But there's a COVID ICU that has all of the masks, the shields, and you'll see quite a bit of PPE, the most PPE that we have on the show. But yes, as far as what I do, I try and put into my character. If I take off a mask and put it away, I sanitize my hands right away. And if I put it back on, then I sanitize. So there's little things that it's on me as a storyteller to put in there. Even though the episode may not be all about how to do these things, it's still there. So it's just discreetly underneath, and you can see it happening. So, but yes, everybody's trying to incorporate all those protocols so that what you're watching is hopefully something you can take away and do for yourself. Yeah.
So with this happening in the world, doctors have become the real life superheroes. What do you think about these professionals who day by day risk their lives?
Man, I was so touched when I saw how people were clapping for them, because rightfully so, when people, in New York and all over the country were singing and to them and banging pots and pans, and I mean they're sort of the unsung heroes and the true heroes, and it's just I feel really grateful to be able to portray one, and I think it's extremely important that I get it right, and my appreciation has just deepened for them. I can't imagine how they're handling all of this and coping with it. It's got to be extremely overwhelming, but hopefully the light is at the end of the tunnel here with these vaccines coming, and we may be headed towards a little more normal times again.
Finally, Nick, I'd like to know why we should watch this new season of Chicago Med.
I think it's the most relatable we can ever be, because of this pandemic is global, and so we will be dealing with these types of stories, and hopefully there is some education in it while we are also entertaining. I think right now more than ever we need stories to cope and also escape. So while we will be dealing with COVID, it won't be all COVID, so that you can take a break from it, right? But I think stories in general right now will allow us some healthy balance, given that the world is really in crisis.
Are heroes willing to put everything on the line to save lives?
Help others and fight for justice.
Chicago Med, nueva temporada, lunes a las 21 por Universal.